Stallone looked into Arnold's eyes. "You, the big man's son," he said. 8 seconds later, he backed down. Nobody saw it coming. Not the producers, not the crew standing around with coffee cups frozen halfway to their mouths. This wasn't supposed to happen. Stallone was the guy. Rocky just hit theaters 3 months ago. He was Hollywood's new golden boy. Arnold, he was the bodybuilder who couldn't act. At least that's what everyone thought. But what happened in those 8 seconds changed everything. And the crazy part, it wasn't about muscles. It wasn't about who could bench more weight or who had the bigger arms. It was something else entirely. Something most people never understood about Arnold. A studio lot in Burbank. The set was buzzing with that electric energy you get when two alpha males occupy the same space. They were both there for a casting call. Same role, same movie. One spot. Arnold walked in first. 6-foot, 2.240 pounds of pure mass. But here's the thing everyone missed. He moved like a dancer. Smooth, controlled, no wasted energy. He wore a simple black t-shirt and jeans. His hair was perfect. His smile was bigger. The producers barely looked up. "Schwarzenegger, right?" one of them said. "We'll call you." That's Hollywood code for don't wait by the phone. Arnold just nodded, smiled wider, sat down in the corner like he owned the place. Then Stallone arrived. The energy shifted immediately. Sly had that East Coast edge, that Philly street mentality that made Rocky feel so real. He walked in wearing his leather jacket, and suddenly the room tilted in his direction. Everyone's attention moved. Stallone noticed Arnold in the corner. For a second, their eyes met. Stallone gave him a nod, professional, respectful. Then one of the producers made a mistake. "Hey Sly, you know Schwarzenegger. He does the bodybuilding thing." The bodybuilding thing. Like it was a hobby. Like Arnold was some gym rat who wandered onto a movie set by accident. Stallone looked over again. This time it was different. He walked toward Arnold. The crew got quiet. You could feel it building. "You, the big man's son?" Stallone asked. It was a test, a challenge wrapped in a casual question. In that world, in that moment, it meant, are you somebody, or are you just big? Arnold stood up slowly. He didn't rush, didn't puff his chest, didn't do any of the things a threatened man does. He just stood, and when he did, something happened. The room temperature dropped. Arnold smiled. Not aggressive, not fake, a real smile, like he just heard the funniest joke of his life. "I'm Arnold," he said. His accent was thick, his English was careful, but his tone, crystal clear. Then he did something nobody expected. He extended his hand. Stallone paused, just for a fraction of a second, but in that pause, something shifted, because Arnold's hand wasn't just hanging there waiting. It was offered with complete confidence, like a king greeting a visiting duke. Stallone shook it, and in that handshake, he felt it. Arnold's grip wasn't crushing. It wasn't a gym bro trying to prove something. It was firm, controlled, unshakable. But that's not what got to Stallone. It was Arnold's eyes. They didn't blink, didn't look away, didn't show doubt or hesitation or insecurity. They just held, calm, focused. Like Arnold already knew how this story ended. "Good luck today," Arnold said. Then he sat back down. 8 seconds. That's all it took. Stallone turned around and walked back to the producers. He did the meeting. He read the lines. He was professional. But something changed in those 8 seconds. Here's what most people don't understand about dominance. It's not about aggression. It's not about who yells louder or who throws the first punch. Real dominance is silent. It's in the pause before you speak. It's in the calmness when everyone else is tense. It's in the smile that says, "I already won. I'm just letting you catch up." Arnold learned this young, not in Gold's Gym, not on a movie set. In Austria. With his father, his dad was a police chief, strict, cold, the kind of man who believed affection was weakness. Arnold grew up in a house where approval was earned through competition. His brother was the favorite. Arnold was the disappointment. So Arnold built himself into something his father couldn't ignore. But he didn't do it with anger. He did it with strategy. He studied psychology. He read books about influence and power. He understood that intimidation isn't about size. It's about certainty. When you know you're going to win, you don't need to convince anyone. You just wait. By the time Arnold got to Hollywood, he'd already mastered this. He watched other bodybuilders fail in auditions because they tried to prove themselves. They flexed. They showed their resumes. Arnold did the opposite. He walked in like he was already cast. He smiled like the role was his. He spoke with an accent most people said would ruin his career, and he didn't apologize for it once. People thought he was delusional. He wasn't. He was playing a different game. Back on that set in 1976, Stallone felt it. That unshakable certainty. It wasn't arrogance. Arrogance has cracks. You can feel the doubt underneath. This was different. This was a man who already decided he was going to be the biggest movie star in the world, and your opinion about it didn't matter. Stallone was tough. He grew up fighting in the streets. He slept in bus stations before Rocky happened. He earned everything the hard way. But Arnold didn't just earn it. He expected it, and that expectation did something to the room. After the handshake, the producers started looking at Arnold differently. They started asking him questions, real questions, not these "so you lift weights" questions. They wanted to know his story. Arnold told them, not all of it, just enough. He talked about coming to America with nothing, learning English by watching TV, winning Mr. Olympia. He made it sound like it had to happen that way, because to him, it did. Stallone watched this happen in real time. He saw the shift, the crew leaning in, the producers nodding, and here's the wild part. Stallone wasn't mad. He was impressed, because he recognized something in Arnold that most people missed. This wasn't just confidence. This was someone who studied the game, who understood that Hollywood isn't about talent, it's about belief. If you believe you're a star before anyone else does, eventually they'll believe it too. That's what Arnold had. Stallone had talent. He had grit. He had a story people loved. But Arnold had something scarier. He had a feeling that he couldn't lose. After the meeting ended, both of them walked out. Neither got the role. By the way, the movie got shelved, but that's not the point. In the parking lot, Stallone caught up to Arnold. "Hey," he said, "you're gonna make it." Arnold turned, smiled that smile again. "I know," he said. No bravado, no bragging, just fact. Stallone nodded. "Yeah, I believe you." They shook hands again. This time it was different. Mutual respect. Two guys who understood the game. But Stallone knew something shifted that day. Arnold didn't just want to be an actor. He wanted to be the biggest. And he was willing to outwork, outsmart, and outlast everyone to get there. But here's what nobody knew. That parking lot conversation, it wasn't the end of their story. It was the beginning of a rivalry that would define Hollywood for the next decade. And Arnold had a plan. A plan so calculated, so precise, that even Stallone didn't see it coming until it was too late. 3 weeks after that audition, Arnold sent Stallone a gift, a personalized copy of his bodybuilding book. Inside, he wrote, "To Sly, the real fighter, keep punching Arnold." Stallone thought it was a nice gesture. It wasn't. It was a mind game. Arnold understood something about competition that most people miss. You don't destroy your rivals. You make them respect you first. Then you make them doubt themselves. That book was the opening move, because every time Stallone looked at it on his shelf, he'd remember that handshake, that smile, that certainty, and a tiny voice in his head would whisper, "What if Arnold's right? What if he really can't be stopped?" That's the seed of doubt. Plant it early. Water it with small gestures. Watch it grow. 6 months later, Arnold landed Pumping Iron, the documentary that made him a household name. Suddenly, everyone knew who he was. Stallone saw it. Then Arnold got cast in Stay Hungry, won a Golden Globe for it. Stallone saw that too. Each time Arnold won, that seed grew a little bigger. But here's the twist. Arnold was also watching Stallone. Rocky won Best Picture at the Oscars. Stallone got nominated for Best Actor and Best Screenplay. Arnold didn't get jealous. He got curious. He called Stallone to congratulate him. They talked for an hour. Arnold asked questions. How did you pitch it? How did you handle the studio? What was your strategy? Stallone thought Arnold was being friendly. He was, but he was also learning. Stallone's secrets. Arnold treated every conversation like a chess match. He'd give information, but he'd take more. He'd compliment you, but he'd study your weaknesses. And Stallone's weakness. He was too honest. Sly wore his heart on his sleeve. When something bothered him, you could see it. When he was insecure, it showed. Arnold never showed anything he didn't want you to see. That's the difference between a street fighter and someone who plans every step. Stallone fought harder. Arnold fought smarter. 1977. They both attended the same Hollywood party. Industry people everywhere. Directors, producers, the kind of room where careers are made. Arnold walked in first, worked the room like a politician, shook every hand, remembered every name, made every person feel like they were the most important one there. Then Stallone arrived. The room shifted toward him. Rocky was the hottest thing in Hollywood. Everyone wanted to talk to him, but Arnold noticed something. He was an artist. He wanted real connections. Arnold used that. He approached Stallone near the bar. "This is exhausting, right?" Arnold said. Stallone laughed. "Man, you read my mind. Want to get out of here? There's a diner down the street. Real food, real talk." They left together at that diner. Something changed. They stopped being rivals for 2 hours. They became friends, talked about their dreams, their fears, the pressure of Hollywood. Stallone opened up, talked about his doubts, his insecurities about whether Rocky was a fluke. Arnold listened, nodded, sympathized. Then he said something that stuck with Stallone for years. "You know what separates the guys who make it from the guys who don't? It's not talent. Everyone here has talent. It's the ability to keep believing when everyone else stops believing in you." Stallone felt that. It resonated, but what he didn't realize was this: Arnold was also selling himself in that moment. Because every time Arnold talked about belief, about certainty, about winning, he was building his own image. He was making Stallone think of those qualities whenever he thought of Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's brilliant when you think about it. You become friends with your rival, you support them, you help them, but every interaction builds the idea that you're the one who has it all figured out. It's not lying, it's smart branding, and Arnold was a master at it. Over the next few years, they'd run into each other at gyms, at parties, at premieres. Every time, Arnold was supportive, complimentary, genuine, but he was also always one step ahead. Stallone made Rambo, huge success. Arnold made Conan the Barbarian, bigger success. Stallone made Rocky III. Arnold made Terminator. Every time Stallone leveled up, Arnold was already there waiting. And here's the thing that drove Stallone crazy. Arnold never seemed stressed about it. He was always smiling, always confident, always unstoppable. 1985 Planet Hollywood idea gets pitched. Arnold brought Stallone in as a partner, equal investors, brothers in business. Stallone thought it was a peace offering. It was, but it was also smart thinking. Because now, every time someone compared them, they weren't just rivals, they were partners, a team. It softened the competition publicly, but privately, the game continued. They'd work out together sometimes. Arnold would suggest exercises, training methods, diet tips. Stallone tried them all. And slowly, subtly, Stallone started training more like Arnold, talking more like Arnold, even smiling more like Arnold. That's the smartest win. You don't beat your rival, you make them become you. By the late 80s, Hollywood had a new narrative. The action Star Wars, Arnold versus Sly. Every magazine, every talk show, every interview. Who's bigger? Who's better? Who's the real king? Stallone played into it. He'd take jabs, make competitive comments, show that fire. Arnold, he'd laugh it off. Sly's my friend. We push each other to be better. That's healthy. Always gracious, always above the fight. And that made him look even more in control. Because the guy who needs to prove he's winning is losing. The guy who already knows he won doesn't need to say anything, but here's what nobody talks about. Behind closed doors, Arnold respected the hell out of Stallone. He told his close friends that Sly was one of the hardest workers he'd ever seen, that Rocky was a masterpiece, that Stallone earned everything he got. But publicly, he kept that smile, that certainty, that unstoppable feeling. Because Arnold understood the game wasn't about being better, it was about people thinking you're better. And what people think is controlled by what you show them over and over. He was always calm, always confident, always successful. That consistency built a brand, and that brand became bigger than any single movie. Years later, in the 2000s, they did The Expendables together. By then, they were both legends. The rivalry was nostalgia. The competition was friendly. On set one day, Stallone pulled Arnold aside. "You know what I always admired about you?" Sly said. Arnold raised an eyebrow. "That day we met. The audition, You walked in like you already owned Hollywood, like it was just a matter of time. Arnold smiled. I didn't own anything. I was broke. My English was terrible. I had no connections. Then how'd you do it? I decided I would, and I never let anyone see me doubt it. Not even for a second. Stallone nodded slowly. That's the difference, isn't it? I fought to prove I belonged. You just acted like you already did. Both ways work, Arnold said. But one way is less exhausting. They laughed, but in that laugh, there was truth. Stallone spent decades proving himself, fighting for respect, earning every inch. Arnold spent decades expecting respect, and because he expected it, people gave it to him. Two different paths. Both led to the top. But Arnold's path left fewer scars. That's the lesson most people miss. Confidence isn't about faking it until you make it. That it's about deciding you've already made it, then working backward to make that decision true. Arnold decided he was a movie star before he could speak English properly. He decided he'd be governor before he understood politics. He decided he'd be a legend before anyone knew his name. And every single time, the world eventually agreed with him. Not because he was lucky, because he protected that image like his life depended on it. That 8-second moment with Stallone was just the first test. The handshake, the eye contact, the smile. Stallone tested Arnold's certainty, and Arnold didn't just pass the test. He made Stallone question his own. Just not dominance through force. That's dominance through presence. That in presence is built through thousands of small moments where you refuse to blink first. Looking back now, both of them changed Hollywood. Stallone gave us the underdog, the fighter who gets knocked down and gets back up. Arnold gave us the unstoppable force, the guy who can't be stopped no matter what. Both became icons. But on that day in 1976, when their eyes met for the first time, something was decided. Not about who was better, about who believed it more. And in that 8-second exchange, Stallone felt it. Arnold didn't just believe he'd make it, he knew it. And that knowing is what separates legends from everyone else.